Welcome to the podcast, which is all about the world of direct response. Are we on the air? I'm your host, Sean Wilsey, and for over 30 years, I've hosted shows on cable shopping networks. Now I want to be your guide into this world as we look at the ever-changing nature of the industries. Obviously, I don't edit this show, so that live to tape. Okay, anyway, here we go. It's a show that in the back of my mind I always thought might happen. Kind of surprised it is happening, and I don't want to be too premature by making it official. ShopHQ on Wednesday, December 18th, gave the majority of its employees 60 days notice. Boy, Merry Christmas, right? Merry Christmas. And this is not the first time that it's happened in the TV shopping industry, and that we'll save for another show. But 60 days notice to almost every employee, one producer, one director, and again, a lot of this is rumor. I've tried to verify these rumors as best I can. One producer, one director. The hosts will be going 1099, so any that want to participate in this new venture can, but they won't be full-time employees. They'll be paid hourly, and probably not much. Because in 60 days, the television end of things will cease. And again, 60 days from yesterday as I'm recording this, so it would have been Wednesday, December 18th when they were given notice. And they're going to go online only. Now, we've yet to clarify exactly what they mean by online only. Will it be live 24/7? Probably not. If they're just going to keep one producer and director, no. They'll record something and replay it. Will it be in the format they are now? No one knows. The thing I find ironic about this whole thing is they're going online only, yet they probably have the worst online presence of... In fact, I can safely say they have the worst online presence of any of the shopping networks. That I can safely say. They don't have an app for my Apple TV. I've never looked for Roku. I have a Roku as well, so I don't know. My iPad, they do not have a dedicated iPad app. You get the iPhone app to put on your iPad, and it stinks. So they trail everyone, all of them, in being an online presence. Now, that said, if anyone can make online-only work, it might be ShopHQ. And the only reason I'm saying that is because they're not beholden to, pardon my French, hit the 15-second skip if you would like, to pissed off shareholders like myself who still own Qurate stock, which owns QVC and HSN, that is worth nothing. And that's, again, another story, another show, because we do have some news there. But anyway, this is about ShopHQ, because the guy that owns it, as most of you know, the gentleman who owns 5 Hour Energy, last year acquired in bankruptcy court. He bought ShopHQ. He was on a buying spree. He bought Sports Illustrated, a bunch of things. Sports Illustrated, he's run into the ground, and now he's running this into the ground. How did this happen? How did they get there? Here again, I really pride myself on not dealing with rumor, but when you hear in journalism, not that anybody studies journalism anymore, if you can speak, you can get a primetime cable television show, and people think you're a journalist. In journalism school, you're taught that you don't talk about anything as a fact unless you have 2 separate verifiable sources. And I have more than 2 for the things I'm going to speculate on as could be reasons why it failed. 1, apparently there was a this is my way, this is the way it's done, and if you don't like it, go elsewhere attitude towards some people in charge. So I've never met the people in charge in this place, so I can't say for certain, but I've heard it from enough people that I don't feel like I have to cover my butt and say allegedly. And that can be very demoralizing. And if you're not open to looking at what's happened in the past and history repeating itself, then you are doomed to repeat failures. That could be part of it. They lost a ton of homes. And when you lose homes, you're never going to get them back. I wish so many people comment because ShopHQ, and by the way, again, ShopHQ, ShopLC, very different entities, independent, individually owned, no connection at all. Many people have, lost shopping networks on Dish Network. And by the way, the shopping networks are not to blame. This is a Dish Network thing, in my humble little opinion, because they're asking a ridiculous amount of money to be carried on Dish Network. And so they lost Dish, they lost DirecTV, and they started losing cable homes and over-the-air homes. They did not have the eyes. And once you have a certain infrastructure and a certain business model, you need those eyes. You need those customers. And they just didn't have them. And so that hurt their business a lot. just to give you some facts, just to give you some numbers here, because it's not only did they lose the homes, meaning the cable systems just weren't buying ShopHQ, because remember that's what they do. Or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. They were not signing up for ShopHQ, meaning ShopHQ is not paying the money to get on the cable systems, and there's some other things that go into this, but they just didn't have the homes, they didn't have the eyes. And so you have the analogy I make. They didn't have the number of potential stores. Think of them as a big conglomerate. Think of them as a Macy's. And your cable systems and your TV stations are your stores, and then customers go into those stores. So they were not only not opening new stores, they were closing stores. So all those customers that would have gone into their store are no longer able to. So that's one issue. They just weren't opening new stores, and they were closing existing stores. So in other words, they were deciding we're not going to be on Dish, we're not going to be on DirecTV, we're not going to be on these cable systems, these TV stations, whatever. So issue one. Issue two is the customers are not going into the stores, meaning they're not tuning in to ShopHQ because they don't have cable anymore. So that's the other big issue, and this is an issue for all the shopping networks. In 2017, just to give you an idea, the number of cable television subscribers in this country, in the United States, was 96.3 million. As of 2024, the most recent numbers, 68.7 million. So that's almost 30 million homes that no longer have cable. The year-over-year decline, almost every year from 2017 to 2025, is 5%, meaning every year now, 5% more of the homes don't get cable. And so those customers just aren't there anymore anyways. So they've lost homes because they didn't have the cable systems from that they chose to not sign up with, or DirecTV or Dish Network, and then they just have the people that are dumping it, that are getting rid of it. 40% of the households in the United States still have cable TV. That's an insanely... I never thought I would be saying that. In 2019, 47%. So almost 50% of the homes had it back then. And again, as you go back and back and back, and the demographic is older, 50% of the adults in the U.S. age 65 and older have a subscription to cable TV, which honestly is a lower number than I thought it was going to be. I thought it'd be closer to 70 or 80, but only 50%. And adults age 65 or older stated they're more comfortable with cable TV subscriptions than their current streaming services. So herein lies the issue for the shopping networks, and this is the battle that ShopHQ might win, is if they can cater to an under 65 crowd, which is easy to do, that's a big demographic, that will shop online, then they might make a go of this. They're not going to be paying as many employees, so, that's going to be good. The problem is, who are the vendors going to be? Because you're not going to have as many people watching. If you have, let's say, 50 people watching at a given moment, what vendor is going to want to go in front of the eyes of 50 people to try and sell something? Well, they might find someone. In fact, they will find someone. They'll find someone who looks at it as early exposure. But you're never going to generate the numbers that we're generating now. But with a scaled-back business model, hey, they might make enough money. And this is where QVC and HSN and many of the big ones, they could not compete because they do have all the shareholders and they do have all of this and all of that. So it's tough for them to get into the online-only industry. If QVC were to pull the plug tomorrow, forget it. It's over Johnny. It's just that's never going to work. ShopHQ, being smaller to begin with, not beholden to shareholders, but one owner, the guy who owns 5 Hour Energy, yeah, they might make a go of it. That's why I don't want to say they're done. That's why I'm not saying stick a fork in it, but I just think it's going to be a very different sort of business model being online only, and they really need to up their online game. For the remaining networks, the ShopLCs, the QVCs, the home shopping networks, the Gem Shopping, the JTV, that's their demographic, their TV. They need to cater to the adults 65 or over who still have cable television. And every year that's going to be, not to be blunt, but because of deaths, a smaller and smaller number. So for the time being, they still have a customer base. That's why I say QVC, if they're doing anything right, it's this over 50 thing, applaud them. That's not a dumb idea. And ShopHQ now needs to reach the younger demo. Herein lies the headwind. Who the hell has heard of ShopHQ that is under 50 years old, let's just say? Not many people. So they're going to have to market it. They're going to have to get out there and somehow get these eyes off TikTok. TikTok is doing amazing things. In fact, they're upping their game. Now, the incoming administration, who knows? It sounds like it's going to be more favorable to TikTok. We'll see what happens. But they're making great gains in shopping. There's a lot of people having great success with TikTok live streams. Facebook live streams, forget about it. That's old news now. Nobody's making money on those. Even Instagram live streams can be very difficult. But TikTok, that's the one to be watching out for. So that is ShopHQ's competition. And I frankly would rather have QVC as my competition than TikTok as my competition. So good luck. I hope they can make it work because I think there is room for an online-only television shopping network. About not 10 years ago, maybe a little less than that, about 8 years or so ago, some people out of California tried, I think it was called the Shops TV, an online-only television shopping network. I think they were too early. I think they were the ones who jumped the gun. Had they waited maybe just a couple years, might have been a little bit more successful. But again, who knows? There have been a lot of people who have tried the online-only thing, and there's a lot of headwinds, mainly the fact that if you're online, it's TikTok and those. Even YouTube is not generating what it used to. So, I don't know. It is going to be interesting. I had a lot of conversations on Wednesday night with some very, very, very good people, and I just passed on my love to them, first of all, and said, it was so great working with you. I don't know many people that are left there. But the ones I talk to, I just, anything I can do, I'll be happy to do because there are some very, very good people. And I've said this on past shows. That's my biggest concern. Very, very good people will be out of a job because of the mistakes of one or two individuals who sit on the second floor in a corner office and who knows how often even venture down to the first floor. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, don't worry. The people that need to are getting it. Venture down to the first floor to see what's going on and to meet with the people and to talk to the people that they have there. So it is going to be very interesting. As I learn more, it's going to be easiest I'll post any updates that I get onto my Facebook page. God, I hate Facebook, but necessary evil these days. So search it out if you haven't already. Are We On The Air is the name of the Facebook page. And I'm going to try and post. Again, I'm not saying they're done. I think they have a chance to exist, at least for a while, in an online-only form. So 60 days from now, as much as too many good people are going to be out of a job, it's not the end of ShopHQ. I started Value Vision, which became Shop NBC, and you know the story by now. So it's breaking my heart that we're recording this show, but it's not over yet. As far as TV goes, oh yeah, it's very over. But I think they have a chance, albeit a small one, to exist in a much minimized form for at least a little while. They're going to give it a try, and if nothing else, some lessons will be learned for those that will follow in their footsteps if anyone else ever decides to go online only, because let's face it, it is the future, and we all recognize that. So, but anyway, just a quick little update. I just wanted to get out there and thank everyone. I wanted to do a Christmas show for this episode. I had all these great plans. I was talking about the HSN Christmas shows they used to do. I thought, you know what? This is my damn show. I want to do a Christmas show and do something very different. So I had all these fun things planned for this recording, and now it's one of the sadder episodes that we've done in 3 years. But there's still a few days till Christmas, so maybe I'll get one out there in time for Christmas. Listen, I hope you're following me on social media, and subscribe. Please subscribe to this podcast. Spotify, Apple Music are the best, and your 5-star ratings are loved. I hope you'll check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Sean Wilsey, and on Instagram at SWilsey. Thank you so much, and I mean this sincerely, for downloading this edition of Are We On The Air?
Yes, I know, Travis. That's why we give such bargains.
Copyright 2024, King Bobby Productions, all rights reserved.